Hey, 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 Special dedication to each and everyone who watched the NIINA KABESA live show. Watch me so, me go so them believe it every time my music play it feel live. Greetings, proper fix, proper fix, proper fix. I bring you peace, I bring you peace. We good to go, good to go. Good to go then in a KABESA live show. What you gonna do? What you gonna do now? What you gonna do? What you gonna do now? Everyone, let's get it on. Watch the NIINA KABESA live show. Everyone, let's get it on. Watch the NIINA KABESA live show. Bring your wisdom to people in a comfort of their home simple. Say again. Bring your wisdom to people in a comfort of their home simple. What more? What more? Tune in, tune in, keep watching the NIINA KABESA live show. Yes, no problems, no problems, no problems, no problems. Yes, indeed. Greetings. One live it, grow it, ordinary snakehead, hatchet the flying dragon, catch us good, say that. What up, what up, what up, what up?
And welcome to the NIINA KABESA live show. Today is the 5th of September. OMG. School's back. Yeah, if you're a parent like myself, you know that this week has been school return. People have gone back to school. Our children have gone back to school. And that's what's going to happen. But today's topic is our lives. Right? Our lives. What is it about our lives that we really love? What is it about our lives that we really enjoy? So we're going to be focusing on our lives today. I've got a few topics, but before I go on further, as you can see on my table, I have a bowl of food, all part of life, because when we're talking about life, we cannot talk about life, first of all, without having to add food in it. As you know, African, you love cooking. Everything is about food, 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 food. But did you know that the way we cook our food has been most of the major reasons why a lot of us have been going through some health issues? So for that reason, I came in today, since we're talking about our life, with a nice lovely bowl of vegetables pasta made by my mom, which tastes really nice and a bit spicy, and extra vegetable, corn. I think I had a bit of cauliflower, a bit of corn, and a bit of a mixed peppers. And on the side, we had some cheese melt. So that is my one meal a day that I'm doing today, all about healthy eating. No kwanga, which is, cassava dough. No taba, which is like, I think they call it meat, barbecue meat. But we're watching what we're eating. It's all part of our life. What we eat is what we will unknowingly or knowingly will start to project out. Some food, believe it or not, have a way of dealing with your emotion. Some food are very hormonal. I believe that's the right word to say. So you have to understand your body, and you have to understand the kind of food that is okay for you. Some people, if they eat, particularly me for instance, if I eat too much sweet, I eat chocolate or anything like that, I get very hyper, especially when I drink Coke. So I hardly drink Coke. So if I need something fizzy, I'll probably get the alternative, which is the sparkling water. Same taste, because I think that's the reason why I go for Coke, because of just that sparkling thing. So you have to learn to know your body. Sometimes if I drink too many Coke, especially in the summertime when it's really, really, and I mean really hot, you see me going around like, you may think that, no, I'm not drunk. It's just that I'm high. Sugar tends to do that. So I've cut sugar about 1.5 years ago. I do honey most of the time because it gets me too high. So that's me. That's about my life. Now I want to touch down on a lot of other things in respective of life. So I'm going to start with the introduction. How do we win in life? How do we win in life? There's not calling me at the moment because I'm on a show, but if you can give me a call straight after the show, I will definitely answer you. This is not the kind of show where you can call me while I'm on a show. So winning in life. How do we win in our life? The reason why I'm doing this today, because this week is a school return. It's very stressful. A lot of parents, and you know it, don't lie, a lot of you left everything on the lastminute.com, because I also probably did. Yeah, you know, all of us always leave everything on the lastminute.com, because we think, yeah, everybody would have had theirs already, but now we start going around getting no stress and we can't get all the uniform that we need, but eventually we get there. But what is it about kids going to school? It's all part of our life. What do we understand about the school routine? Is it just waking up in the morning and dropping your kid to school, or seeing them going off to school and coming back and then they're having something to eat? What are you feeding them when they come back from school? Because they need to eat an appropriate meal which gets the brain functioning for the homework, so that the hormones and everything will be okay. Are you watching their clothes? Maybe they played today at school and then the clothes got a little bit dirty. You may need to wash it. And did you check if they probably had PE and then put some dirty socks or dirty something on the back, and then you don't check it, and then the next day they go to school like that and it does not look so well. All of that is part of our lives. You see, having children and is having responsibility, and many people have children but do not have the responsibility, or they do not understand the responsibility that comes to it. In knowing your responsibility, there's also other things that comes into it, knowing the law where you live. Because sometimes when you don't know something, people can take advantage of you. And that's something that I have also seen. Yes, in the whole world, our lives, in the whole world, in everybody's life, everyone is going through some form of challenges. But the difference is, and the beauty of it is, if you can master your life. And when I mean by your life, it means where you live. I don't know the people that you know. You don't know all of the people that I know. So that my world is all the people that I know. And that's my life. You know, so your life is all the people that you know. And that's your world. So when you're in your world, you know, how do you view it? Because your world means that you are the master, you are the maker of that world. So you can break or make it. Everybody in your world can break or make. And you can allow bad people come in, and you can allow also to let the bad people go. It's your world. I want us to really focus on our lives. It's your world. Do we pay attention? Or are we on a robotic way of doing things? You know, some people don't even know it, but they are already in the system. I call it the robot. Every day, 6 a.m., up. Same routine. Toilet, pee, bathroom, back in the bedroom, drop the clothes, pick the towel, and then go back into the shower. Stop. When you wake up and then you go to the toilet to pee, why don't you just wake up, pick up your towel, go to the toilet, and go to the bathroom, put the towel down, brush your teeth, enter shower? But you have to go up, toilet, brush teeth, back, towel, back. Do you see what I mean? Why do we do? Those are the things that we need to start paying attention to. Some people, you could be in the kitchen. I'm going somewhere with what I'm telling you guys, so bear with me. Some people, you can ask them, they could be in the kitchen and say, oh, could you help me bring me maybe a juice or a fruit or something. Now they know that if they bring you that particular fruit, apple for instance, that you may need a knife with it, you may need a plate with it, but then they'll bring it for you. Okay, let's put the apple aside. Can you give me a bowl of, say, yogurt? Okay, a pot of yogurt. So they bring a pot of yogurt for you from the kitchen to where you are, bedroom or corridor or living room. They give it to you. And then they're like, oh yeah, I'm now going to get the spoon. There are people like that in this world, in our lives, whose brain and way of seeing life is a little bit different, who do double the work when they can just do something once go. What would have stopped you when you were already in the kitchen? Common sense. General knowledge. This is the general knowledge that you're in the kitchen, somebody asks for a pot of yogurt. The general knowledge is you need a spoon to eat the yogurt. Okay? You need a spoon to eat the yogurt. So here I am in the kitchen. Before even I touch the pot of yogurt or whichever way, I get the spoon. Then I get the yogurt. Or I get the yogurt and then I get the spoon. Then I take it to the person. The person doesn't always have to tell me, bring me a spoon. Because as a general knowledge go, even a 3-year-old will know that a pot of yogurt is always eaten with a spoon. But there are people that will argue that will say, no, you asked for the yogurt. If you wanted a spoon, you should have said, give me with a spoon. Now, what do you do when you have people like that in your life? They may look difficult, but are they really, really difficult? They're not. It could just mean the way the perspective, the way the brain, the way they study things, the way they see the world in a different way. Now, the reason why I'm talking about all of this today is because I had an amazing conversation today. I had a call from a very beautiful young lady by the name of Sandra. Okay. Some people, she says, some people call her Aris or something like that. But Sandra is the name. And the name, she has an organization called Africa Dyslexic United. And she talks about dyslexic. Half of what I've just explained to you guys is a little bit of how sometimes dyslexic people can react, and sometimes how dyslexic people do things. Dyslexic is a brain, it's not a malfunction, but it's something to do with the brain. How sometimes, you know, the brain will skip something and then you will just sort of see things or do things a little bit different. Now, why we brought this up today, because we see this a lot in our community. If a child can't read a particular way, or if a child can't do something, we either going to be hitting them or do whatever, think they're stupid, but not necessarily that they're stupid. What it could simply be happening, they're probably going through what we call a dyslexia or dyspraxia. Dyspraxia deals with the clumsiness. You know, people who are too clumsy and every little then, you know, drop and things like that. Now, they call it disability, by the way, but it's not one of those visible as anything. It's not even to the degree of a mental health disability, impairment disability. It's not even on that level. Why do I say that? Because people like Richard Branson has dyslexia. People like, you know, Will Smith have dyslexia. Okay, so mighty big people out there have dyslexia. So myself, I have dyslexia and dyspraxia, but you will never get to know it. But then you will get to see people, but then you have to ask yourself, how come all these people have it, but they're so successful? We're always doing things because dyslexia sees things, the world different. We don't see things how you people see, and especially if you have been diagnosed and you went through a psychiatrist and they've literally told you there's some tests that we do. And through the tests that you do, you get to discover which one you are, you know, whether you are either a strong audio person that you learn better when you're hearing, or you're a strong visualizer that you learn better when you see things as opposed to things being said to you. So those are usually the main two ways with dyslexia of learning. So I'm a very strong visualizer. So this is the reason why I write a lot. Okay, I write a lot because I need to read. So reading means I'm seeing. So I need to see what I'm reading. So when you're talking to me, I can hear everything you're saying, but I need to write down. If they're important things, I will need to write it down. So as I'm writing it down, it's storing in my memory. And then dyslexic people are very creative people. We are all creative. There is no one dyslexic person you will come across who is not creative. But there's also other people who take that a little bit to an extent. Once you do not understand what that is, it's going to be very challenging for you. Now, today we're talking about our life. Why did I bring this topic up today? Because it is part of our life. Many of us are struggling one way or the other on some you know, invisible impairment that they are not aware is there. They just think that, oh, do you know what, I'm just clumsy, I just can't do these things. But no, but you've never really asked or seek for help or know where to go for you to see. Let me just check something for you guys. I want to make sure that everybody is watching me and stuff. Oops, there we go. Okay, somebody said that they're not understanding. Sorry. French, please. Sorry, guys. I cannot do French today because today we're talking about our lives. So that will teach you guys to go and learn English. So, allez, apprenez l'anglais juste pour aujourd'hui. Aujourd'hui, je veux seulement parler l'anglais. Peut-être lingala un peu, mais prochainement, on va voir. Mais merci quand même, vous me suivez. Sandra, Monseka, Prophetess, we love you. Marcel Joël, thank you. French, please. Sorry. Je parle pas français. Moi, français, non. Non, je parle, mais pas aujourd'hui. Aujourd'hui, je parle sur... I'm not going to speak, so we'll do it later. So as I was saying, for my English speakers, come on through. As I was saying, this is our life. In our life, there's a lot of things that we go through that we do not get to check. And probably because, one, media make those things to look somehow to us. Two, our environment, the people who's around us, they make it look like it's a taboo or it's something that's not right, you know. And you wonder, you know, if people hear the word disability, automatically they think like, oh yeah, you are stupid. You know, but it's not always like that. For me personally, I remember going into the disability board and I went to talk about my son, because I have a son who they have labeled autistic. So I went there and I literally had to speak my mind, and this is what I believe it is. I say there is no such a thing as disability in the whole world. Now, the reason why the word disability exists, first of all, is because people have framed how people should live. So because they have framed this is the normal way of living, they can't afford to make a man, they can't afford to create ways of each and every person's way of living. So because they only have this is how we should be, so any other person who does not fall under this is how we should be category, you are classified as a disability person, as a disabled, when really and truly we are not disabled. Nobody is disabled because everybody is created to function in their own way. But the challenge is, in the nation where we live today, they cannot contain, they cannot support, and they cannot make a world where everybody lives how they were born to live. But if there was such a thing, then believe me, everybody will be. I am privileged to be living in a country, United Kingdom, which is a very, 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 you know, westernized country. We have disabled people who work. You know, we have disabled people who do things. I mean, there are minor disability, which means that you're just a little bit over like dyslexic and things like that. You know, you're just a little bit out. So some people will call us weird, but we're very creative. And I call us spiritual people. We're just very, very spiritually sensitive people. And it's just all dyslexic. There's no dyslexic person that I've met who has not been like that, but that's just who we are. And then that's how it is. So they will put you out just because you probably just have one out or a box is out, then you're here. And then here is called disability. So whether you are minor and whether you are major, you know, wherever you fall, but as long as you are not 100% here and you're like 99 point whatever, automatically they'll put you here. Do you understand? And they'll just classify it as a low, middle, and high. So that's how it is. But really and truly for me, based on the research, there is no such a thing as disability. There isn't any such a thing as disability. It's just that people are different. They are wired to work differently. And because, you know, especially in the UK, there's not enough finance for people to do more research or to accommodate each and every person according to how they do, then they put you into the disability because it makes it look like you need extra work to do, but you really don't need extra work, because even those that they classify as normal, when we sometimes look at them, I think, normal, mate. You know, so we think like you're probably the one who is this ain't not right with you. Do you understand? So this is just how it is. So we wanted to talk about those things, so that I just want to talk about it, about our life. So we've touched on the disability, we've touched on about how some food can affect your emotions. It's very important to listen to your body. And now I want to talk about, you know, how we see ourselves. I'm going to be 40 soon, and sometimes we have to learn to be real to ourselves. I'm not 15 years old. The things I used to do, or the things I used to get away with, you know, like eating 10 Big Mac when I was 14 or 15-year-old and never putting on any weight, you ain't getting away with it at this age. So there's a lot of us out there who still have this mindset. You know, even though the age has gone, it's visible, the body is changing, the hormones are changing. Every cells in you is probably being renewed, because apparently cells renew itself every 7 years or so. Don't quote that, because I'm not a scientific. It's just something that I read somewhere. Okay, so these are the things that always happen. But we still have people who are like myself on the 39-year-old, but they're still behaving like they're 10-year-old. They still think how they used to eat sweet. Have you ever wondered how kids can eat so much sweet when they're so young, and they'll still somehow be a little bit okay, and they encourage them to eat something? What kids eat when they're young and when we grow old, it cannot be the same. So a lot of us are falling into health issue. A lot of us are falling into emotional issue and hormonal issues and stuff like that. Why? Because we think, well, I used to eat ice cream 10 times in a day and nothing used to happen to me before. What's happened? Well, I will tell you what happened. Your hormone has changed. If you're a woman, you probably had kids. If you're a woman, you probably now have the cycle, the monthly cycle that's come through. That's a change. You know, if you're a man, you've grown. Your voice is probably broken. So your cells inside us probably has been regenerated and been changing. You may not see it, but it is happening. This is why it is important to meditate. Meditation is the best. For me, I always tell people it's important to meditate in the Word of God, because I kind of like find my comfort there, because I feel like when I meditate in the Word of God, it's like God is speaking to me and showing me all that I need to know about my body, outside and the inside. He will tell me probably things like, in this season, NIINA, I don't want you to be having breakfast. You wake up first thing in the morning, you fast. You do this, you know, you start to get direction. Why? Because you're changing. We are constantly changing. We are constantly changing physically, but our spirit hardly change. But I'll get into that one a bit later. So we've touched on about healthy food for your emotion. We've touched on about disability, knowing what's going on with you. That little thing that you're thinking in your mind, oh, I'm stupid, I can't do this. No, you're not stupid. You just need to be assessed. It could just mean that you're dyslexic. Okay, I'm a dyslexic person, but I have 7 books. I've written blogs. Because most people think that dyslexic people are stupid. Dyslexic people can't do. Like I said, Richard Branson is one. Will Smith is one. I'm one. And I met this lovely lady who's doing a dyslexic foundation today. Her name is Sandra. She is one as well. You know, people are doing amazing things. Why are these people successful even though they have been labeled with a minor disability? Because we knew, we learned. Knowledge is very important. We learn what it is, and we made sure that we understood what it was, and we made sure we got assessed so that we knew which thing works for us, and then we apply it. So as the year go on by, we master it, and we only focus. Because once you know who you are, whether a strong visualization or a strong audio, you stick to the one that's your strength. You don't focus on your weakness. And this is where I want to get into us about our life. we focus so much on our weaknesses. We focus so much on our flaws when we can be given the opportunity to just focus on our strength. Now, someone like me who has been diagnosed as a dyslexic years back, I cannot relate. That's why it's easy for me to only focus on their strength. It's easy for me if I find myself in a problematic issue, or if I find myself having challenge with somebody, I don't focus on them. I don't focus on the challenge. I focus on the positive outcome. I focus on the positive things. Why? Because I've already been trained from having to discover that I was dyslexic. I had to choose the strength of my learning and focus on the strength of my learning and not the weaknesses. It is very important what you pay attention to. So whatever you pay attention to, you become a master of it. If you want to pay attention to negativity, you will become a master of negativity. This is all part of your life. Today's show is our life. This is all part of your life. Whatever you are today in your life, it has nothing to do with demons. It has nothing to do with Satan. It has everything to do with your choice in what you were putting your energy on. If you're constantly putting your energy of, oh, I don't have money, oh, I'm always going sick, oh, I'm always like this, you will become a master of complainer, a master of always being sick, a master of all those things. But if your focus is, oh, I know tomorrow is going to be okay, oh, I know very soon I'm going to be like this, eventually you will become a master of solution. Always coming out, breathing through. There will be no challenge, no problem that will shake you anymore. Why? Because you've got it and have understood it, that it's about your life. This is your world. Like I said, I don't know your people. You don't know my people. But in my world, everybody is a success. In my world, everybody is not sick. That's what I told myself. Anyone that wants to come in my world will have to be successful. Why? Because I don't like complainers. I don't like people who don't like to be success. You have to be a successful person in my life. Why? Because successful people help people. Successful people help people. The unsuccessful people are the ones that feels that they have to put something out as a front to show like they have when they really don't have. When you don't have, you can't give, but you can only show off what you don't have. But when you have, you don't need to show it off because you've already got it. Get it? All right, I don't think you got that. Should I repeat again? Okay, let me repeat again. When you don't have, that's when you show off to the people to make it look like you have. And when you don't have, you don't give, because you can only give what you have. So if you don't have it, you can't give it. But successful people, people that have, they give. Do you know why? Because they already know that they have, so they don't need to show you that they have, but they just need to give you. Get it? Right. So that's a little bit like this. So successful people give. So today's show is just a show to encourage a lot of us, especially my parents who have children in primary school, and maybe your child is doing GCSE this year like mine. One of my child is doing GCSE this year, and the other one is on the final year of A-level. And another one is on the final year of primary 6. So you see, I've got busy homes. You know, I know exams are going to be there. I know residential is coming up. There's so many things coming up. But you have to plan these things. If you don't plan this thing properly, what will happen is you will break down. What will happen is you become a whiner. You will start to whine, and go through. Like I said, it's about the life. It's your life. Okay, let me just go back on Facebook to see the comment. God bless you. I say hello to our First Lady, Grace Embassy, my pastor, Mrs. Pastor Gift Obina. Thank you so much, Mommy, for following me today. See, I had to do it in English today because most of the time I'm always having it in Lingala, but today it's an honor to have it in English. For those of you who don't know, I am grounded in Christ. I have a Bible believing church that I go to, which is Grace Embassy. My senior pastor is Pastor Frank Gerald Obina with his Mrs. Pastor Mrs. Ronke Gift Obina. And I've been with them for almost 4 years now, but we've all kind of like traveled together from different churches, and eventually they had their own and I was there. And they are also part of my life. This is my life, my world. So this is what we want to focus on now. So in my life, I have my home, my children. It's my home life. And then I have my academic life. Then I have my professional life. And then I have my spiritual life. Okay, so the home and the spiritual are more or less the same, because it's sort of like just it's hand in hand, because it's family, you know. So it's very important in every bulk of your life, our life, that we manage it with excellency. At your profession, how are you? Are you a different person? At home, how are you? Are you a different person? At church, how are you? You know, if we were to mix all these people from your profession, academic, church, home together, will they say the same thing about you? If they can't say the same thing about you, then there's something wrong. And this is where a lot of people don't understand. Because you can't change who you are, irrespective of where you are. You remain the same. It's your circle, your environment that has to change into how you want it to be. But you don't change, because the real you is the you that's inside. It's the you when no one is watching. It's the you when you're sitting down with music and the thoughts are coming into your mind. That's the real you. And I want to know today, that real you, is a positive you or negative you? Is it the you that will sit here probably looking at the NIINA KABESA live show thinking, gosh, look at that girl. The way she dressed, who she thinks she is. You know, she thinks she's like, if that's the you, I would say change. Because you're looking at things in the wrong way. Sometimes we can let our mind run wild. And I've always said, if you can make your mind run wild so negatively, imagine if you were just to flip it and let it run wild so positively. The energy that you put in doing bad thing, if you put the same energy, the same effort into doing a good thing, the whole world today will be a better place. But it's because these are the things that you will never be educated at school. These are the things that they're not going to teach you at school. These are the things they're never going to tell you. One of my daughter, bless her, she's a very smart one, that one, Nikita. She came to me and she says, why are they teaching us science and English and mathematics and all those things? I said, that's all good. But most of us are female, we're going to be parents soon. Should they not be teaching us, you know, how to manage a bill? Should they not be teaching us how to change diapers? Should they not be teaching us how to cook? Should they not be teaching us how to budget our money and how to break down things? And I went to her and I said, that is absolutely correct, but they cannot teach you. Because the real education really should be at home. It is a parent's responsibility, and everybody who's in that child's life responsibility to teach them the right way. But then, like I said, you can only give what you have, right? You can only give what you have. And if what you don't have, you can't give, then you're only going to fabricate. And most of the fabrication comes from negativity. And this is where we have to stop. So we're just going to have a break for a little bit. And then we're going to come back. And then I'm going to sum it all up for you guys. And then we'll take it from there. And I'll announce to you guys what's happening next week. Because all the conversation we're having today, it's all tying together for the conversation for the next show. Because the next show, I'm going to have a guest. And I think with all this being said, it's like a warm-up to you guys. And you get to hear what she has to say. But let us have a break for a bit. And we'll come back.
Hello, I am Woman of God, Rose Bijou Ramirez, inviting you to an exciting event organized by myself for you. It is entitled Single married, divorced, the unspoken truth. Are you single, seeking for Mr. and Mrs. Right? Have you got unanswered questions that are preventing you from finding the right partner? Are they taboo subjects that nobody discusses with you? Are you married and seeking how to maintain your marriage, and you still have unanswered questions that nobody answered before your marriage? Are you divorced, seeking how to reintegrate into the society and find the right partner again? If you are single, married, divorced, young and old, this event is for you. Let's start the conversation so we can help the community hopefully prevent things, remove things that are stopping people from having a fulfilling relationship.
Single, married, divorced, the unspoken truth, on the 12th of October 2019, 4 p.m. to 9 p.m.
There will be debates. There will be wonderful speakers, which you can see on your screens, that will be there to help you understand, answer your questions as well. And there will be live music, and there will be free food, and it's only £10. It will be the best £10 you've ever spent in your life. Come, so you can find out the truth about things that nobody told you before. Let's get the relationships back to a normal, fulfilling level.
Venue, Tottenham Town Hall Approach, London, N154RY.
Don't miss out on the 12th of October. I'll be there. There will be plenty of people waiting for you. So come. Let's find out what God is in store for us. Take care.
An event not to be missed.
Hi and welcome back. Yes, that was Rose Bijou Ramirez. That's one of her amazing events coming up on the date that you saw on the video. Please go and purchase your ticket on Eventbrite. You need to come. It's going to be a very powerful, conference. It is a Christian conference, and we are going to be talking about the things that is happening, just to get the dialogue and the conversation going. And I think it's a very good concept. It is time for people within the Christian community to start talking about the things that you constantly and all the time assume it's a taboo. Now, I want to leave you guys with these 5 nuggets. Now, remember I mentioned something. You have your world, your life, in your spiritual life, your profession, your academic, and then your home. All those are your lives. But then the question is, does that mean you are 4 different people? Does that mean you have 4 different personalities? Because one thing I know is that bipolar is somebody that has multiple personality. And a lot of people in our community today and within the African diaspora have bipolar undiagnosed, and they don't even know it because they change facade. On the profession and academic, they're one thing. On the spiritual, they're another. At home, they're another. And that is a cause for concern. And this is where a lot of mental, health challenges comes from. When you're having to switch and be so many things in one go, you are one person who does 4 different things. And these are the things that's not something that you will learn or be taught, but then you probably have to pay a professional like myself, a life coach, or another coach that can show you how to be yourself, how to brand yourself, be yourself, and in all those things. Now, questions you need to ask yourself, I call them the trigger questions. Do you believe in yourself? Do you believe in your life? Do you believe that, your life is great? Do you believe in your life? That's the question. Do you ask yourself that question even? Do you believe in your life? And the question is, do you know what your life is? What is your life? Write all those questions down. It's going to help you to sum up and see what comes out of you. The next question is, do you even know what life means to you? What does life mean to you? What does life mean to you? And another one that always has to ask in every single category is, do you hear yourself speak? Right now, as I'm speaking to you, I can hear myself speak. That's why sometimes when I'm speaking, you will hear me do the little posing. It's not that I'm posing, but it's just like I'm hearing myself speaking at the same time, and I'm making sure that the word that I'm about to speak is going to be a word that's not just going to be anyhow out of my mouth. I hear myself speak. Do you hear yourself speak? Now, those questions that I've asked you is very important. The reason why I ask you that is because, remember, we talked about the 4 different stages, that some people are 4 different people. You know, they're different in the academy, they're different in the profession, they're different in the churches, and they're different in our home. And it shouldn't be like that. You should be one in all. That if the people at your church meet the people in the academy, they'll both speak the same language about you. If your people at home meet the people at church, they will speak the same thing about you. Why? Because it comes down to what I've always said, that, you know, we have been created in God's image. And God is a God who's the same today, tomorrow, and everywhere. So God doesn't change. So if God does not change, and the question lies in, why do we change in our lives? Why do we not remain constant in all these different pockets of things that we do? And it's something that I've been working on for 11 years of my life. And then I realized it came down to one thing. It's just about knowing you. The moment you know your real self is the moment that you found that diamond, you found the richness of the spirit that often talked about in the Bible. The moment you know who you are, you can never be changed, no matter where you are. And that's why people, sometimes you look at me and you wonder, how do I do all the things that I do? Well, I don't. The things that you see me do, they just happen. How? My mind and how I think and how I do things. You see, I say things like, I don't work for money, but money works for me. So everything that you see me do is working for me. But it took practice for me to come out of the normal way of doing things and realizing that there's a me that I need to get acquainted to. And I got acquainted to the me, and here I am. I realized that, you know, the real me is not in marriage. The real me is not in having children. The real me is not having a bigger house or having cars or having a good job or having my own businesses and being an entrepreneur and all the things that I do. Those things are not really who I am. You see, the real me is the me who is in all those things. If you meet people from my household, they will have the same language, they will have the same thing they will say about me as the people of my church, as the people of my voluntary sector, as the people of my professions, as the people, all of them will all have one thing that they will say. Probably say, I'm too caring. Oh, she's a caring person. She's such a lovely person. Oh, she just loves people. They all speak the same. But these are people of different walks of life. How? Because I've trained myself and I've allowed the Holy Spirit in me train me and show me how to be. And the easiest one for all of you who's following me, because my show is coming up to an end soon, even though I know we started a bit late, apology for that. The easiest way to learn and to find the real you is just walk in love. Walk in love with everybody. Take offense from nobody. People will upset you. People will say things and do things that really deliberately just to get into your peace. But don't allow them. The moment you start to practice that, what you find is, oh, it will feel good, because what you realize is you're calm, but yet they're the one who becomes to be agitated. Why? Because they're doing something to cause you to be in a particular way so they can be okay. But because your response was not how they expected you to respond, you've messed up the mental state. And this is why the cases of mental health and mental imbalance is rising day after day, because people don't want to go in and know themselves, but they rather do things on the external. to prove people and do people. I want to do this because I want this person to see that I'm doing this, I'm doing that. So when they see it, this is what they're going to think. You've put that in yourself because that person will not see it like that. And the moment they don't see it like that, then you break down and you melt down and you get hurt and you feel hurt. Then you start saying things like, oh, nobody cares for me. No. Nobody should care for you than yourself. You are the number one person who is responsible of yourself. You need to take care of yourself. You can pray to God 1,000,000 times, but if you don't wake up every morning and shower yourself every morning, and then you stay like that for the whole year and not bathing, not showering, there's no prayer in the whole world that will stop the itchiness and the disease that will come up on your body. That's not devil. That's just you not doing something. So there are things that we need to be practical about, and there are things which are spiritual. The whole world is governed by the spirit world anyway. So letting the spirit overtaking your body is a good idea, a very good idea, and I really encourage that, because then you will always be a winner in all that you do, and you will not stress. You will always be above everything in this whole world. But if you start to allow the things of this world to get into you, that's when we break out like sicknesses and issues and poverties and financial this, financial that, blah, 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 blah. All those things are a cause of us walking in the things of the system of the world. Because God has said this, but we want to do this, but we can't do this and this. We can't do God and the world. So it's either one or the other. So it's always hard to switch on God's side, because some people think that you become a loner. People look at you as a freak. Yeah, that's me. And it's okay. And I'm here on my show literally telling you it's okay. There's nothing wrong with you walking on your own. There's nothing wrong with you enjoying your own company. We don't have that anymore. A lot of people don't enjoy their own companies anymore. They want to be with people to feel important. Me, I love my own company. Leave me alone for 3 days and come back and meet me after 3 days. I'm probably going to have 10 books. I'm probably going to have all these ideas and revelations everywhere. Why? Because physically it looks like I'm alone, but I'm never alone. I have the Holy Spirit in me. How can you carry a Holy Spirit in you and feel that you are alone? Unless He's not there to start off with. So think about all these things that I've just sort of like just given to you and bombarded you. Remember, this is God versus religion. So I just want to show you guys the difference between walking with God and walking with religion. Religion is like the ways people just do these things about God, the way people just do about the God that they know. But walking with God is the way you have known God, the way you've sort of connected with God, the way God has revealed Himself to you. To me, my first walk with God 11 years ago, He revealed Himself to me as Elohim, the God of all hosts, because He picked me up in the spiritual realm in a way I was so deep in. So He came to me and He proved to me that He is the God of all the hosts. That's why I'm never scared of any bad spirit. I'm never afraid of anything, because I've already met Him there. You see, that height where He met me is very hard to drop me down. So because I know He is the God above witch doctors, the God above all these shrine, whatever, evil people and whatever you want to put it, because I know, not by hearing and not necessarily just by experience, but by literally seeing Him picking me up and proving to our side that He is God, the most powerful God. And that's how I know God to me. That's how God revealed Himself to me, first of all. It was Elohim. And since then, my life has been transformed. So how did God reveal Himself to you? Some of you, it could be through, He revealed Himself as Raphael, the God that heals. Maybe you went through a very chronic sicknesses and God just came through for you And since then, that sickness has not come. And that's how God revealed to you. But how he reveals himself to you isn't always the end. How he reveals himself to you is just the beginning. And it should be the beginning and the reason why you should want to know him even more. How can God just march up where all these evil things are happening, say, you come here, pick NIINA up and get out, and NIINA is not here talking forever about God, and I'm like, yeah. That's literally how I do in the spirit realm. It's like, yeah, to the other side, because they can't touch me anymore. No matter what they do, I see the flesh, the arrow comes, I do the matrix things like zoom, and it stops and it drops. That's the kind of God I see. And when God opens your eyes to see things like this, it becomes fun. You know, walking with God, it becomes really fun, but at the same time disciplined. But at the same time, as it becomes fun and disciplined, you also have this, what they call respect, the reverence of the Lord. You have the respect for God. Because you can't see this God, but you're seeing it. And because you've walked with God so long alone, you will start to enjoy walking with all of his creation, not just his children, but all of his creation. You've come to realize that the whole world, the whole creation was created by him. As the Bible says, he so loved the world that he sent his only begotten. He so loved the world. So if you are with the God that so loved the world and you walked with him, how I've walked with him, guess what? You too are gonna so love the world that you will never take offense anymore. That you will just love everyone, irrespective of what they do. Just pray for them, that God finds them, that they find direction to where they're going, because there's a lot of people who are walking head down and don't have the Holy Spirit in them, but claiming to be Christian. A Christian shouldn't be depressed. A Christian should be, there's so many things, but I don't want to talk about today. But as the show is coming up to an end, let me just check on the Facebook before we carry on any further. Just bear with me a second. I want to see who is on Facebook, and then we can talk. Somebody's laughing. Oh, there's a lot of you. Hi, if I don't get around to saying all of your names, do forgive me. I just want to make sure that everything is sorted. Okay. Hello, Fatu, Siraki, Azili. Thank you, my sister, for watching. Good old mom. Hi, sis Rose Bijou. Yeah. Sandra. Hello, Pastor Gifts Obina. Hello, so brav Tosi. Jody. Hey, babes. How you doing? Okay, sorry. Here comes my thing. Sandra Aris Wallo, thank you so much for watching. Marseille Joel, Felinda. Oh, thank you so much. I'm sorry. Next time I'm gonna do the program in Lingala maybe, but I'm not sure about French because I'm not so confident in French. But thank you all for watching today. Next week is going to be in English as well, unfortunately, because I have done a lot of shows in Lingala. At least the last 4 or 6, I believe, has been in Lingala. So you guys have had a lot of shows. So let me now also cater to my English followers. So thank you very much for watching today. As my big sis Rose Bijou say, good old mom. You know, yeah, I tend to carry that. But then that goes to shows I have a non-for-profit organization called Mother of Nations. And this is exactly what I do. So if you are in need of talking, you need of help, you need to learn budgeting on your own benefit, and you always seem to not having enough money, I can help you because I've been there, I've done all of them. And you have a special need child, but you don't know how to go about it to get help, I can help you. You know, you can get in touch with me. That's what Mother of Nations is going to be doing. Apart from doing now, we're also going to be doing pockets of projects. We have a Mellow Ward project. We're going to be having a spiritual project, which is which is spiritually his everything, which is going to be happening once. All this project going to be happening once in a year. The Mellow Ward, the She conference, and then we're going to be having Stand Up for the Youth, which is again something that's run by the youth. It's just around Christmassy time and things like that. We get presents and reach out to those who may not get presents, kind of thing. And you know, we also have Voices of Women. Now Voices of Women is going to be a pocket of professional women's who comes together in one conference, and then we're trying to help other women to stand up and be strong. So those are the pocket things. And then we have this, the Sheme, the NIINA KABESA live show at the Sheme TV. This is also part of the Mother of Nation platform, where you can contact me like my sister Sandra did to want to come on the show and talk. And this is why this platform is all here for. So you contact me, you come and you talk, you speak to me, and then I say, yeah, sure, come. And then we know how to do. This is also another platform for it. And there's many, many, many more that's going to be birthed. I'm very much sure of it. But keep looking out, and then we're going to have the app that's coming out very soon as well. So there's a lot happening. And the reason why I was led to do all these things, because half of what I went through in my life, I went through it alone. So because I went through it alone, and I've seen the hardship, and I've seen how difficult and challenging it really, really was, I don't want anyone else to go through it alone. So I want to just be there as a silent person who's just going to carry you guys along, and just there for you. When you're trying to fall, I could just hold you up. So that's what I want to do. I wish I'd had people there for me. If I probably had, it probably wouldn't have taken the length that it did, but there's a reason for everything. God knew why it had to be that way. So if you're being trained by God to be a solution maker, just know that issue, that challenge that you're going through right now is actually because you're going to help another person to overcome quicker, you see. And that's how we win the battle of the dark side. So thank you so much for watching me today. And remember, the real you is not in marriage. The real you is not because you have kids. The real you is not because you have bigger house, bigger car, good job, own business, and you're an entrepreneur and you do all these things. That's not the real you. Those are just the things that you do. The real you is that you who is the you on your own. The real you is when that person got on your nerve, how you reacted. That's the real you. So thank you for watching the NIINA KABESA live show today. I'm gonna go back to my meal as you go back maybe to your meal. So thank you very much, and bye.
Hello, I am Woman of God, Rose Bijou Ramirez, inviting you to an exciting event organized by myself for you. It is entitled Single, Married, Divorced, The Unspoken Truth. Are you single, seeking for Mr. and Mrs. Right? Have you got unanswered questions that are preventing you from finding the right partner? Are they taboo subjects that nobody discusses with you? Are you married and seeking how to maintain your marriage, and you still have unanswered questions that nobody answered before your marriage? Are you divorced, seeking how to reintegrate into the society and find the right partner again? If you are single, married, divorced, young and old, this event is for you. Let's start the conversation so we can help the community hopefully prevent things, remove things that are stopping people from having a fulfilling relationship.
Single, married, divorced, The Unspoken Truth, on the 12th of October 2019, 4 p.m. to 9 p.m.
There will be debates. There will be wonderful speakers, which you can see on your screens, that will be there to help you understand, answer your questions as well. And there will be live music, and there will be free food, and it's only £10. It will be the best £10 you've ever spent in your life. Come, so you can find out the truth about things that nobody told you before. Let's get the relationships back to a normal, fulfilling level.
Venue, Tottenham Town Hall, Town Hall Approach, London, N154RY.
Don't miss out on the 12th of October. I'll be there. There will be plenty of people waiting for you. So come. Let's find out what God is in store for us. Take care.
An event not to be missed.